Hello, I'm Jim Cornwall, and this is the WalkingPost.com podcast. WalkingPost.com is the news website dedicated to walking, with all the latest on books, festivals, gear, fitness, trails, events, health and more. This podcast is number 48, and it is going live on April the 10th. It's been a wet week. Maybe it's a good thing because of the cost of taking the car on the road at the moment. It feels like you have to fill your tank quickly because the price could go up while you're fueling. We were out filming in Inverclyde one day this week, on the one day it wasn't raining, and we were approached by a man with a very expensive looking pedigree dog and an equally expensive jacket, who asked me if I could spare £2 so he could buy the Daily Record. If you're not in Scotland, it's a slightly left-leaning newspaper, a bit like the Mirror in England, but it's definitely not a pro-independence newspaper. Seeing as he had a newer iPhone than mine, I suggested maybe he could read the news online. I should have turned the tables and asked him if he could spare £500 for a new phone. But I didn't say that because I only just thought of it. Let's get to April the 10th. It is Siblings Day, Hug Your Dog Day, which really should be every day of the year, and it is World Baton Twirling Day. It's Homeopathy Day, Work from Home Day, Safety Pin Day, and Day of Silence, which I would never manage. I remember when I was in chemistry class in school, the teacher said his theory on life was that when we're born, we're given the number of words we're going to say before we die. He said regardless of how many I was given, I was already on borrowed time. I think he was joking. Today is the day the Titanic set off on its maiden voyage in 1912, and it's the birthday of Steven Seagal and Joseph Pulitzer. For this week's interview, we're heading to Mole Valley to talk about the Spring Walking Festival there. And I'm not telling you where it is, because that's part of the conversation, so not going to give it away. Before we do get going, if you do have any news, guest ideas, or even subjects to cover, or comments, or if you want to advertise, please get in touch via walkingpost.com, or you can just email me directly at jim@walkingpost.com. Normally we'd do the roundup of the news from walkingpost.com at this point, but because it's Easter, news is pretty thin on the ground. Any public holiday like Easter and Christmas plays havoc with specialised news. Some places will refuse to put out a press release around times when they think that no one will read it. So let's just get on with the podcast and get to the interview. And it is with Sally Howes from the Mole Valley Ramblers. And she's going to tell us about the Mole Valley Spring Walking Festival, which is coming up very soon. And I didn't mention when or where Mole Valley is, because we don't want to give away the contents of the conversation. So, hi Sally, thanks for being on the podcast with us. I wonder if first you could give us a bit of background on the Ramblers.
Most of you recognise the Ramblers name, but here's a bit of trivia. This all started in New Year's Day in 1935, when Ramblers was officially founded to ensure everyone could enjoy nature on foot.
When I saw Mole Valley, I had to look it up. So where is Mole Valley?
So Mole Valley is about 25 miles south of London and about 30 miles from the coast. It's known as the Surrey Hills. The well-known Box Hill Neil Dorkin is in the heart of those Surrey Hills. Super place to walk. And actually, the Olympics, when they were here, the cycle race went several times around Box Hill.
And so what's the Spring Walks Festival?
So it's been a tradition for us since 2017. Of course, we did have to miss a few years, but we keep it simple. It's free, it's inclusive, it's flexible. You can join a 10-mile strenuous walk or join a leisurely stroll with time to stop and admire the scenery. All the information can be found on molevalleyramblers.org, and there's a dedicated link that takes you straight to this 2026 Spring Walks Festival. Pick a suitable walk, turn up, and let Mole Valley Ramblers show you why we love this landscape so much. No need to book, you just turn up.
All right, and when is it?
The dates are the 29th of April until the 6th of May.
And why is there a Spring Walks Festival there?
So people often ask why we put so much energy into the Spring Walks Festival, and it's our way of saying thank you to all our members who support us all year. But it's also an opportunity to open our doors for all to join in. If you've ever wondered if you'd like to ramble, this festival is your answer. We want to showcase the best Mole Valley and prove that walking is for everyone. On our first day, the 29th of April, we're doing something special. All our walks start from the exact same location. There's such a buzz when you see dozens of walkers all heading off on different paths, but starting that journey together. And we don't finish the week with a tired wave goodbye. We wrap the entire 8-day festival at a local hall. We all bring our own picnic, swap stories from the walks, and of course, there's plenty of tea and cake.
You mentioned about the beginnings of the festival. How has it changed over the years?
It follows a similar format every year, but the length and the other parts of it do change. It's been incredible to watch this festival grow. So back in 2017, we had 170 walkers join us, and today we're seeing around 250. What I love is that everyone engages with it differently. Most pick about 2 or 3 walks that they really fancy doing, but we always have that hardcore group, the ones who are there every single morning and even join us for the evening walks too. Whatever you choose, you're going to be in really good company. People ask if you have to be local to join in, and the answer is a resounding no. Most of our walkers are from the Surrey area, but we're starting to see people from further afield. Last year, we had a walker join us all the way from Bury St Edmunds. She enjoyed the atmosphere and views so much that she's actually coming back this year and will lead one of our longer walks too. She's made a whole new circle of friends here in the Mole Valley. She even comes down for the occasional weekend to just walk with the group. We have another join us when she's visiting family. It doesn't matter if you're from around the corner or further afield.
You hope that it grows year on year. And you mentioned Bury St Edmunds. You get a lot of people from like London, Sussex.
Some people do travel down. So if they know, as for instance, a walk is going from Box Hill, they can catch the train from London straight down to Dorking, and then they can join a local walk in that area. Yeah, you do get that. People come up from Sussex, sometimes from Kent.
Do you see people coming back year after year?
Yes, we definitely see our regulars, those familiar faces we look forward to seeing every spring. But what's really exciting is the mix. We get visitors from other Ramblers group across the country who want to experience the Surrey Hills, and we get plenty of guests who've never walked with a group before. Because it's completely free and you can join as many or as few walks as you like, there's no pressure. It's just a great opportunity to spend a few days or even a whole 8 days immersed in nature with a really welcoming crowd.
So, what's in store for the 2026 festival? Because there's a lot of walks listed on the website from easy to difficult and short and long.
Yes, our volunteer walk leaders have pulled out all the stops for this year event, offering 45 walks over the 8-day festival period. There should be something to appeal to everyone, from the most accomplished walker to the complete beginner. Just look at the grade of the walk on our website. We've marked them clearly so you can quickly find your perfect walk. So yes, that's where we have the leisurely, the moderate, and the longer distance walking.
Does it also mention things like whether dogs are allowed or children, that kind of thing?
So it's best to check on our website on dogs. We do have regular dogs that walk with us, so they are welcome, but it's better to perhaps contact the walk leader for the walk of your choice, because we do have quite a few walks with livestock and there can be styles. And obviously you need to be mindful of the group, that the dogs aren't a trip hazard and that they're not a nuisance to the walkers that are on the group. So just have a look at the website. They are welcome, and perhaps just check with the walk leader for the walk of your choice.
Could you tell me a little bit about some of the walks?
So Our list of walks that we have for our Spring Walks Festival, we have a long distance walk each day, most being around 10 miles, but with some up to 18 miles. We have two medium walks daily, ranging from 5.5 to 8 miles, with most starting in the morning. And we have 12 leisurely daytime walks between 3 and 5 miles, and half of these are in the afternoon because some people do prefer an afternoon walk and have the morning to themselves. But this is my favourite part. And to add some excitement into the mix, we have 7 evening walks ranging from 3.5 miles to 6 miles, and usually end up at a local pub. A couple even stop halfway, meaning return leg is a true nighttime experience where you'll definitely need a head torch. I know joining a group can feel a little bit daunting sometimes, but we've made the process incredibly simple. When you arrive at the meeting point, your walk leader will be there to greet you. They'll take a few details and then introduce you to the rest of the group. No one walks alone unless they want to, and our leaders are incredibly experienced and approachable. If you're worried about the pace or terrain, their contact details are right there on our website, molevalleyramblers.org.
Are there any themes for the walks? Like a lot of festivals,
Yeah.
they have history walks or food walks or that kind of thing. Are there any of those?
We decided that for 2026, we'd let the landscape speak for itself. April and May in the Mole Valley are spectacular. It's that window where the bluebells are carpeting the woods and the wild garlic is in full bloom, along with many spring flowers, butterflies, and birdsong. For those who like a bit of a challenge, we have something special, our 2026 photographic competition. We're asking walkers to capture 10 photos, with each image representing a letter from the words Mole Valley. Whether it's an M-shaped branch or a V in the valley view, it's just a great way to really look at the beauty around you.
That's a new one. I've never heard anything like that before. That'll be good. Forces people to observe rather than just walk. Is it cheating to get E from a signpost?
No, they can
Uh,
be as creative as they like. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay. Do you have the same walks year after year, or do you change them around?
When you look at our 2026 programme, you'll see some incredibly creative titles like Don't Whine About Walking or the Westhumble Express. If a leader is excited to be there, the walkers will feel that energy too. But because we let our volunteers choose their own walks, you get this amazing variety. You might find yourself on a classic climb up Box Hill one day, and the next you're on a hidden gem walk that only one specific leader knows about. It keeps the festival fresh every year. Even our regulars often find themselves on a path they've never walked before, simply because a new leader wanted to share their secret spot.
It doesn't hurt to reiterate the information for booking and more information.
Yeah, so no need to book. If you're looking for us, a quick Google search for Mole Valley Ramblers will take you straight to our website. We've got a huge presence on social media. Our publicity officer is active across 14 different Facebook communities and local calendars like Vantage Point. A tip on finding the start of a walk: don't just rely on the postcode. As any walker knows, a postcode in the middle of the Surrey Hills might leave you at the farm gate half a mile away from the group. On our website, every walk listing includes what 3 words and a grid reference. It's the most reliable way to find the exact right location. All you need to do is head over to our website. There's a direct link to the full festival schedule. Just pick a walk that fits your ability, double check the start time, and aim to arrive about 15 minutes early. That gives you time to boot up, meet the leader, and get settled before we head off.
All right. And if you're local, obviously you don't need to worry about accommodation. But if people are coming from a distance and want to stay over and do several walks, is that easy to find?
Yes, we'd love people to make a week of it or a few days. Because we're in such a beautiful part of the Surrey Hills, there's plenty of places to stay. You'll find everything from a campsite to B&Bs and hotels in Dorking and the surrounding villages. A quick search on the usual booking sites, Mole Valley or Dorking, will give you plenty of results. Now, for a bit of practical advice, while the train links from London to Dorking are good, many of our festival walks start in those beautiful hidden away spots that public transport doesn't reach. For this festival, having a car is definitely recommended.
And I'm sure that with people that are involved in the group, you can reach out to somebody and say, could you give me a ride from the train station? Or I'm sure there's probably
Yeah.
ways to carpool and get around
Yes.
if, uh,
Yes. I think if somebody is passing Dorking Station and walking the same walk, then yes, people car share sometimes.
the other question that comes out of the name, because it's called the Spring Festival, does that mean you have an Autumn Festival as well?
We currently only offer this festival during the spring, but who knows, in the future, an autumn one may arise.
It's a nice area in the autumn, as you get that kind of cool evenings and the leaves on the trees change colors and it's
Yes.
also, yeah, nice.
The Surrey Hills is definitely good for autumn colour. So, yes, most of us love walking through October and November because it's still dry and you just get the lovely flush of autumn colour too.
Personally, what are some of your favorite walks in the area without mentioning, well, I guess you got to mention Box Hill.
Well, actually, Leith Hill for me, Leith Hill is in the Surrey Hills, but if you walk up Leith Hill and walk up the tower, now unfortunately this isn't open when our festival is taking place, but if you walk to the top of the Leith Hill Tower, you're at the highest point in the southeast. It's got amazing views. If you look to the north, you can see London. And if you look to the south, there is a gap in the hills down to the Shoreham Gap, and you can, on a good day, you can see the sea glistening. So yeah, amazing views from there. And for May, there are lots of rhododendron woods around, so the rhododendrons should be in full bloom for our Spring Walks Festival, along with the bluebells, the wild garlic, all the spring flowers. So a lovely time. So yeah, Leith Hill is one of my favourite places to walk. Each of our walks will have a break. The shorter walks will have a midweek coffee break, but if you join us for longer 10-mile walks, you'll need to bring a proper packed lunch. We always find a scenic spot, maybe a quiet woodland clearing or a high ridge to enjoy a well-earned rest. But it's important for people to know if they're going to join a walk, it is about enjoying the countryside, the scenery, and just taking time out on the walk to enjoy it. Bring some water, bring a snack with you. You know, on a full day walk, you'll need to bring a proper packed lunch. But it isn't just out to walk 5 miles and finish. It's about enjoying the company, enjoying the scenery, the views, and just taking a break as well.
And I hate to mention weather, but do you go whether the weather's good or bad?
So our general rule of thumb is we go ahead come rain or shine. However, safety is our absolute priority. So if we get adverse weather conditions and weather warnings or dangerous wind, we'd make a decision. So we have two webmasters who would be prompt to updating our website if a route needed to change or be cancelled. So again, any changes to any of the programme will be updated quite quickly on our website. So if you're fancying a walk, just check our website to make sure nothing has changed for some reason or another.
And how about accessibility?
For accessibility, I would say a lot of the Surrey Hills just has country paths which are not necessarily suitable for accessible walking. What I would say is some of the leisurely walks, just have a look at the programme, and if you think it may be accessible, contact the walk leader. They've recce'd the walks, they know it in detail. So if you're thinking of joining, most probably the leisurely would be most suitable. Just please contact the walk leader and just see if the paths are suitable for your needs, really.
Right. Do some of them get muddy?
If it's rained lots, yes, quite muddy. So definitely wear suitable footwear. Walking boots would be ideal. Always take a raincoat and just be prepared for weather changes. And sometimes, because it is the Surrey Hills, walking poles are an advantage to take as well. We don't want slips and trips, so walking poles can quite often help if people start getting tired or there's a difficult terrain to pass. I personally will always walk with walking poles for those reasons. Some of the hills can be quite steep, and we've got chalk paths sometimes which can be slippery. If you need to carry anything like water or snack or anything, either have it in your pocket or take a backpack. Don't try and carry a carrier bag or a bag that is restricting your hands, because sometimes you need to grab hold of a branch or something if you're in an area that you're finding trickier. So hands-free with walking poles or just hands-free is definitely recommended.
Do you get children out on your walks or during the festival?
On occasions, we get usually older children join some of our, I would say, leisurely walks and occasional shorter, moderate walks. And again, if children are interested in joining some of our walks, it's best to look at the detail. It has the ascent, descent. It has quite a detail of each walk. I would say if you're interested and you want to bring along some children, contact the walks leader and they will give you advice whether they think it is suitable. Just read the website. It has a lot of detail on there for them.
I lived in West Sussex for a short time, and one of my colleagues lived in Surrey and told us about Box Hill. What a gem of a walk that is, and really close to London. Well worth doing if you're in the area. And in my opinion, it is actually doable from the train station as well. Proof that you don't need to travel miles for a great walk. There are some amazing urban walks too, although living in a village in Scotland, not too many urban walks until you hit Glasgow or Edinburgh. So sounds like a great festival of walking in Surrey, and it's coming up very soon. So that will just about do it for this week. If you do have news or suggestions for podcast guests, please do get in touch through jim@walkingpost.com. We are always looking for guests, whether it's about a new book, a new trail, a walking festival, or someone who's done an incredible or interesting walk somewhere. So I hope you enjoyed this week's walkingpost.com podcast, and I hope you have a great week, hopefully with a walk somewhere, whether it's to the top of a hill or in the middle of nowhere or close to civilization. Until next time, happy trails! Walking Post from walkingpost.com is an Air Coastal Media Limited production.